Time for wide receiver love-hate here. And Allen Robinson, I'm all in on Allen Robinson this year.
I know you are. You love it.
Look, I mean, it's like sort of like obvious analysis, but just because it's obvious doesn't mean it isn't true. He is playing with the best quarterback of his career, and it's not close.
Yeah. Did we see what happened to Cooper Kupp last year when he got Matthew Stafford?
But that's the great point, right? Yeah. I mean, don't underestimate the importance of a quarterback upgrade. That's exactly right. Jared Goff to Matthew Stafford was a massive upgrade from my little Cooper Kupp. So what do you think is going to happen when Allen Robinson gets to graduate from Blake Bortles, Mitch Trubisky, Nick Foles, Chase Daniel, Andy Dalton?
All these guys are worse than Jared Goff.
All these guys are worse than Jared Goff. And now he's going to Matthew Stafford, who's in his second year in McVay's system. And there are a ton of targets available now with Odell Beckham Jr. not there, Robert Woods not there. Again, think about the fact that last year there were 11 different times that a non-Cooper Kupp pass catcher for the Rams had over 15 fantasy points. Again, Robert Woods was like a top 16 fantasy wide receiver on a points per game basis. This is an offense that throws enough and is good enough that can support two top 15 fantasy wide receivers. Last year, they were top 5 in red zone pass attempts and goal to go pass attempts. Allen Robinson's like 6'2", can win those 50-50 balls. Cooper Kupp's going to get more attention this year.
That's the thing is with the passing volume, because I think people still kind of have it in their heads that Sean McVay is all about outside zone and running Todd Gurley and C.J. Anderson. But this is a passing offense now. The only team that threw the ball more on first down last year than the Rams were the Bucks. So they really want to throw the ball, and there's going to be a lot of volume to go around. So, yeah, I don't really see the case against Allen Robinson. Outside, he's a little bit older, maybe, than you'd like, but still.
The only case against Allen Robinson is last year.
Yeah.
Because he's been quarterback proof. He was bad last year.
Yeah.
He was bad last year. But guess what? So are the Bears.
Yeah.
And so you're like, okay, who do we blame for the Bears being terrible last year? Are we blaming Allen Robinson, who's produced every year of his career?
Yep.
Are we blaming Matt Nagy, who got fired?
Yeah.
Are we blaming the quarterbacks? Justin Fields, who was sort of put in a situation where he couldn't win, a rookie quarterback? Are we blaming the fact that maybe Allen Robinson was a little bit banged up? Or maybe the fact that, you can decide whether you think this is right or not, but probably checked out a little bit. Obviously, things had gone really sour between him and the franchise, the Chicago Bears franchise, I should say.
I think it's totally defensible to check out on that team. I would be worried if you stayed checked in.
Yeah,
There'd be something wrong. You're just risking injury.
It appeared like Matt Nagy kind of checked out last year.
Yeah.
Bears fans absolutely checked out. All I'm saying is that I think Les Snead, the general manager of the Rams, and Sean McVay have earned kind of a benefit of the doubt here.
Yep.
Every move they made last year worked out. They signed Allen. They looked at everything. They interviewed him. They talked to him, and they signed him to a big deal. Allen Robinson. They paid Allen Robinson big money. They're going to make him a thing. They're going to make him work. So anyway, I'm all in on Allen Robinson. I'm at wide receiver 16, 36th overall. He's going 54th overall on Yahoo, so I'm significantly ahead of that. Another guy I'm all in on this year is Rashod Bateman.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the Ravens a little bit here. 24% of the targets from the Ravens last year, 146 targets that Marquise Brown got, are now in Arizona. And they didn't really do anything in free agency, right? I mean, so nothing significant. DeMarcus Robinson, whatever. I mean, just got there. Isaiah Likely seems like he's going to get some run. He's had a really nice preseason here. But it's going to be Mark Andrews and Rashod Bateman. And even if they go more run heavy, last year the Ravens actually top 9 in the NFL in pass attempts. We don't expect that again. We expect them to go more run heavy, more balanced this year. The fact of the matter is that Lamar Jackson is a former MVP quarterback who is still very good, still going to have to throw. Rashod Bateman doesn't need 146 targets to pay off here. Super talented player who played over 80% of the snaps over the final 4 games here. Had 6 games with double-digit targets when he got at least 5 targets.
Yeah.
Double-digit fantasy points, I should say, when he got at least 6 targets. I'm just a big believer in the talent of Rashod Bateman.
Believe in the talent, and we saw it. He had 3 games of 80-plus yards last year. And also, the common refrain with Bateman is that, it's Lamar Jackson. It's a Baltimore running offense. But Lamar Jackson was on pace for 4,500 yards passing last year. And yes, that should come down. But at the same time, even if it comes down 800 yards, there's still enough to go around to support 2 receiving options. And if it's not Mark Andrews and Rashod Bateman, I mean, Isaiah Likely's not going to out-yard Rashod Bateman this season.
Absolutely not. I'm at 67th overall. Yahoo has him at 80. Again, you try to look for situations here. Good quarterback, good opportunity. Not a lot of competition for target share, and he's playing with, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And by the way, for those watching home, did you just see that video? There was no defenders. He literally ran one route. He scored a touchdown because there was no defenders on him and everything like that. It was just a practice route.
He kind of fell apart in the last month, but that was because of Tyler Huntley, and all Tyler Huntley wanted to do was just throw the ball to Mark Andrews every single play, and it worked. But when he was playing with Lamar Jackson, he was much better. Now, another guy I know you like, JuJu Smith-Schuster, who I think is interesting at 25-1 comeback player of the year. Now, it seems like he's created a bit of separation amongst those Chiefs wide receivers, and he's going to be the number 2 pass option after Travis Kelce. Why do you like JuJu?
Well, we just talked about Allen Robinson getting a massive quarterback upgrade. Think about JuJu Smith-Schuster going from the last 2 years of Ben Roethlisberger to Patrick Mahomes.
Small Ben.
Yeah, from Small Ben. I like that one. That's well done. I'm going to use that one. Right, going from Small Ben to Patrick Mahomes, right?
Yeah. Big Patrick.
Listen, I'm not really. I don't think I'm ready for the TikTok collabs between him and Jackson Mahomes.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm all in on JuJu this year. 331 targets. 331 are available in the Chiefs' offense after the departure of Tyreek Hill, Byron Pringle, Demarcus Robinson, and Darrell Williams. Actually, they combined for 331 targets last year. And yes, they got MVS, and yes, they got Sky Moore. But honestly, JuJu Smith-Schuster was so good early in his career. He's still young here as well. If you see, you're looking here on your screen, you can see all the ADPs on Yahoo of the Chiefs pass catchers. And so JuJu Smith-Schuster, who's going as wide receiver 23, I'm at wide receiver 21. But again, I'm at 43 overall. On Yahoo, he's going 69th overall. So I have him significantly higher in the overall ranks. I'm not saying he's Tyreek Hill, but if you're asking me, I think which one of these guys has the best chance of becoming close to Tyreek Hill?
It has to be JuJu.
It has to be JuJu.
And look, I brought up an advanced statistic before, DVOA, another advanced statistic, date of birth, age. He's only 25 years old.
Which is insane.
Yeah, it feels like he's 29.
Yes.
Because he's not been good, really good, since 4 years ago when he put up 1426 yards, which would have ranked 5th in the league. So he's got that, and now he gets Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, a fantasy baseball analyst that I've known for a long, long time, and I admire, Ron Chandler, the great Ron Chandler, always used to say, once you display a skill, you own it. And so JuJu has a top 10 fantasy finish in his career on his resume. He has a top 20 as well. And we know that talent is there. I think it was limited by Ben Roethlisberger. And I believe going to Kansas City, where they will move him all over the field, they'll move him out of and put him into the slot as well.
Yep.
I think sky's the limit for JuJu Smith-Schuster, really high on him. We know the Chiefs' offense is going to score a ton of points, and we know he's really, really good. You're going to call me a homer on this one, and I don't care. I don't care because somewhere back there is.
You're a homer.
They're right there. Can we get a shot of that? Thank you very much. Who's that? That's right, number 17.
We've got
50
jerseys on the wall.
Exactly.
25 of them in Washington.
Yeah, well, these are all my old jerseys. Just under the Terrell Pryor jersey. What are you going to do? But Terry McScorin, number 17 on the wall, number 1 in your hearts. Again, we talk about quarterback upgrades.
Yeah.
And Carson Wentz, whatever you think of Carson Wentz, Carson Wentz is the best quarterback that Terry McLaurin has ever played with in his career, and it's not close.
Yeah.
Again, you're talking about Taylor Heineke and Kyle Allen and Alex Smith and Dwayne Haskins, and it's been a tough sledding there for Terry McLaurin. And Carson Wentz is fine. Is fine. He's a professional quarterback who has a big arm. He can get it deep. We have seen him support Carson Wentz. We have seen him support fantasy relevant wide receivers, including Michael Pittman last year, right? Carson Wentz top 10 in on target rate on deep passes. And so Terry McLaurin, who has at least 130 targets in consecutive seasons. He's one of only 6 wide receivers who can say that. He's one of 9 wide receivers to have at least 1,000 yards in consecutive years as well. He's the focal point of that offense. They are going to be more pass heavy this year. Give me Terry McLaurin, who I have him, again, at 32nd overall. Yahoo has him at 43 overall. We both have him. I'm at wide receiver 14, wide receiver 15. But, again, I think he has a legit shot at being a top 10 fantasy wide receiver this year.
Yep. And the thing with Carson Wentz is Carson Wentz, to me, he's kind of like James Harden's defense, where when it looks bad,
Yeah.
It's viral bad, and that's what sticks in your mind. It's the left-handed interceptions in the end zone that get run back. So really, I mean, he was 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions last season. So, I mean, he is a professional quarterback. But let's jump into the hate. Keenan Allen is a guy on your list, and I get it because he's older, and it's a little bit similar to the Miles Sanders thing, where there's just a lot of things that are there, and he's kind of teetering between additional target share for guys like Josh Palmer, between the age. I also think that the knock on this Chargers offense is they don't throw deep enough. I think that if they do throw more deep, it's going to help Mike Williams more than Keenan Allen. And look, Keenan Allen's going a lot earlier than Mike Williams and some other receivers we can talk about. But I think there's a good chance that Mike Williams is the Chargers receiver you want this year.
Jay, and that's the exact point, right? It's not about Keenan Allen being a bad player. Keenan Allen's a good player. All right? Well, this is not me. Again, hate is not about the player. It's about ADP. And this is about roster construction. Keenan Allen's currently going as wide receiver 11, 27th overall. And so last year in a Yahoo, the default scoring is half-point PPR. Mike Williams was the better fantasy wide receiver on a points-per-game basis and total points in half-point PPR than Keenan Allen was last year. I think you can make a very strong argument that you'd rather, straight up, you'd rather Mike Williams than Keenan Allen. And Mike Williams is going 16 picks later than Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's now in his 30-year-old season. 4 of the last 5 seasons, he's scored 6 touchdowns. There's not a high touchdown equity here. Like, he's a volume play. And again, there's just, in terms of roster construction, I think you want to be in on the Chargers offense. And we did last year we did squad goals. I don't know that you want both Keenan Allen and Mike Williams in this offense. I like Austin Eckler quite a bit. We like Josh Palmer as a late sleeper. We like Gerald Everett as a late sleeper. So at some point, like, how much of this offense can you have? And I just, for where Keenan Allen is going, I say this all the time, I'd rather be off the bandwagon 1 year too early than 1 year too late. And I'm nervous about him as a wide receiver 1, which is where he's being drafted.
He's going ahead of A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, and Mike Williams. I'd rather have all 3 of those guys than Keenan Allen, straight up, as well as relative to position. Now, guys, a little bit surprised he had on your list is Jerry Jeudy.
Okay.
So hate. And the reason I was surprised is that I just don't think we know what Jerry Jeudy is. Because he comes in as the 15th pick in the draft, has a perfectly fine rookie season, but with his quarterbacks, I mean, Drew Lock, there's been some Jeff Driscoll action in there. Check down Teddy, I don't think really unlocked. Jerry Jeudy. So why do you hate Jerry Jeudy? Relative to position.
Yeah, relative to position. Look, and by the way, I'm going against what I've just said about everyone else, which is like quarterback upgrade. He also gets a massive quarterback upgrade. Jerry Jeudy's going to be a lot better than he was last year, okay? A lot better. But last year on a per-game basis, he was a wide receiver 50. He's currently going as wide receiver 22. Like, we think Jerry Jeudy's going to be better this year. There's no question. Asked and answered. Is he going to be 30 spots better? Because that's a lot to ask for a guy that in 2 years has 3 touchdowns. I get he's had bad quarterback play. Russell Wilson's a significant upgrade. But he's, again, you're talking about roster construction. I don't know that you want to invest in both Denver wide receivers. And Courtland Sutton's going around earlier. Give me Courtland Sutton, who has a top 10 finish, on a per-game basis on his resume. Here's Jerry Jeudy's being drafted. Again, it's all about opportunity cost. So Jerry Jeudy, who we think has talent, we loved his college tape, but again, so far in the pros, he has not produced big fantasy numbers. Whereas Courtland Sutton, who's also had crappy quarterback play, has produced, right? And so here's who Jerry Jeudy's going ahead of. He's being drafted ahead of guys like JuJu Smith-Schuster, we just talked about, Brandon Cooks, Gabriel Davis, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I would rather have all those guys than Jerry Jeudy, because all those guys are in similar or better situations than they were last year. All of them outperformed Jerry Jeudy. Again, I think this stat is crazy, but in 26 games, Jerry Jeudy has 3 touchdowns. In 26 career games.
That's right.
I think Courtland Sutton leads this team in touchdown catches.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.